Hey everyone, welcome to another Fireside Chat where we hear from leaders about our business. I'm Eunice, a communications executive, and also recently just graduated from NTU. So you could say I've been in SC Logistics for around 3 months now, and you've probably seen me around, snapping the different photos of the 50th anniversary events, and also especially the latest futsal challenge, which has been a complete blast. You could say it's been a really eventful few months in SC Logistics with the different 50th anniversary events and projects. And just to let you in on a little sneak peek, I'm actually working on a 50 Stories project which will be launching next year. So stay tuned to that. Ever since I joined SC Logistics, a lot of my peers and my colleagues ask me, Eunice, why the logistics industry? Or even why SC Logistics? Simple answer, why not? Because contrary to popular belief, the logistics industry is actually filled with creativity and innovation. And it's just something that is really fulfilling, especially when it has a public service element. So for SC Logistics, it's very fulfilling for me to get to know the faces and also the different stories behind the people who actually serve the nation. So in a way, you could say I'm defying my own industry norms by not joining a creative field. So for SC Logistics, we defy industry norms through innovating and all. And in fact, we even have an in-house legal counsel, which is oh look, he's right there. Hey,
Hi.
Keng Wee.
Hi Eunice.
Yes.
Black as usual?
Yes, thank you. Thanks for the coffee.
No worries.
Yeah, so I was just telling my audience, a bit about SC Logistics. Would you like to share about what you do at SC Logistics?
My name is Keng Wee. I'm the head legal for SC Logistics, as well as the company secretary for the SC Logistics Group. And concurrently, I'm also head of the communications team, which I'm sure you're well aware of.
I actually heard that you've recently been certified a para-counselor.
Oh yeah.
So congratulations on
Thank
that.
you.
Yeah.
So para-counseling counseling in general is something which is very close to my heart. The idea of taking care of the mental well-being of your workers, your colleagues at the workplace, ensure their mental well-being, that always struck a chord with me.
I'm just curious, Keng Wee, since you have so many different roles,
Yep.
one of it being a lawyer, which looks at like facts and paperwork, and then you're a para-counselor too, which is like more on the emotional connection side. So how do you manage? Because there's such a huge contrast,
So, at the core of what the company does is always people, employee first. So to me, the divide between clients, whether they are internal clients or external clients, that line is completely blurred. And I treat them all equally as colleagues and fellow workers at the company. So when you help each other out, you look out for each other as well when it comes to their mental wellness. So that in a way spurs me on to do these jobs concurrently.
Yeah. So, you're a lawyer. Why do you choose to join the logistics industry instead of like a traditional law firm?
Okay. Well, I started my career in the Ministry of Defence as a legal counsel with the Defence Procurement Division. And thereafter joined Defence Science and Technology Agency as its head legal, which is a statutory board. And finally, before I joined this company, I was actually with the Attorney General's Chambers. So in a way, I've sort of come full circle from joining a ministry to a statutory board, and then to an organ of state, and now a private company. But one thing remains the same throughout all these stints, is that there's always a public service element in the job that we do. And in SC Logistics, this public service element is no more pronounced than during the recent pandemic, where we help source for PPEs for healthcare workers and healthcare sectors. And being an in-house counsel, there was this added satisfaction of making sure the deal goes through in light of all the ever-changing legislative measures which were enacted to deal with the COVID-19 situation. So that, on a personal level, that gave me a great deal of satisfaction.
Actually, you remind me of somebody. Do you know Dr. Timothy?
In fact, it's right there.
Oh, hi, Dr. Timothy.
Hi.
So, Dr. Timothy, we're just chatting with our audience, So, we're just wondering, what do you do in SC Logistics?
Currently, I'm the medical director of the Singapore Aeromedical Centre, which is a place where we help to select medical screening, select and train the aircrew for the RSAF.
Ah, okay. So, you being a doctor and all, why do you choose the logistics industry and not a traditional hospital or clinic?
Okay. I'm a trained psychiatrist and a trained aviation medicine specialist. At the end of my career last year, the easy way out or the norm, right, would be to maybe join a hospital or go private to continue the clinical career. However, when the offer came about from ST Logistics, I found out a bit about the company, and I think what's important was the why the company exists resonated with me. I know what they do. They ST Logistics does logistics, right? However, why we do it, why ST Logistics exists is really to support the government, provide this almost impeccable service, customer-centric service to the government. And in the field that I'm in the job that I'm doing now at the SAC, I think that why kind of resonates with me.
So I heard you guys have a really cool facility, right? Somewhere near the Paya Lebar Air Base?
Yes, that's where the Singapore Aeromedical Centre is situated. Come on, think of it. Have you all been, Eunice and Keng Wee, to SAC?
I've been, but I don't think Eunice has.
Oh, I haven't been to, yeah.
Then tell you what, Eunice, why don't we all go there now?
Okay, let's go.
Okay, so the two roles that SAC functions in, we do aviation physiology training for our aircrew and medical selection, right? So this is one of the pieces of equipment that we use to train our aircrew for aviation physiology training. We train them to recognize the threats that they can face in the austere aviation environment. Those threats come about in things like hypoxia, increased G-forces. So we use this simulator to train them to combat the increased G-forces that they have when they're flying in the fighter aircraft. Okay, so that's all for physiology training. How about we make our way to the clinic? So this is the clinic portion of the Singapore Aeromedical Centre. This is the second role that we function. We perform medical tests, physical examinations here on our aircrew, our controllers, to make sure that these controllers and aircrew actually meet the physical standards required to function in their role in the RSAF.
And you know what, Eunice, apart from aircrew and controllers, employees of ST Logistics could actually come here and see a doctor at the SAC as well.
Ooh, so I can take an MC here?
Well,
I think we time to go. Yes,
on
that's
that note, yeah.
Oh wow, what a cool facility. Which actually brings me to my next question, why is SAC and ST Logistics linked?
Yeah, so that's one of the fascinating things about ST Logistics. Because as a supply chain company, the last thing you will find in this company is a medical clinic, but that's exactly what the SAC is. And it's actually it's a business unit under STL50 Private Limited, which is a wholly owned subsidiary of ST Logistics.
So thank you both of you for sharing. I learned so much during this Fireside Chat, and in fact, I think everybody else here learned pretty much a lot about ST Logistics. So perhaps just to wrap up this session, maybe one final question to both of you would be, what advice will you give to people out there who are pursuing niche careers?
Okay, there's an author that I actually read a lot. His name is Simon Sinek. Simon Sinek, his philosophy, which I kind of agree with, talks about his why, talk about our why we do something, why we work, why we function, and the hows and the whats come after the why. So in my case, I think why I work was, as I've shown about my past 20 years in the Air Force, was really for public service, right, in support of my aircrew over in the RSAF. And this opportunity here in ST Logistics through SAC gives me the opportunity to continue, right, with the why. And I think the why of STL is very similar to mine. It is in sync with mine. So I'm happy, joining a company where we're in sync. Advice I would give is that don't limit yourself. I think here in SAC we have doctors, we have nurses. I even have 2 pilots working here for ST Logistics. So in that sense, find the why why you work, and find a company whose why resonates with yours. And I think that you'll be very happy in that company.
You know what, Tim's absolutely right. And to add on, in life as in everything else, you just can't sit there and expect good things to happen. You got to go out there and make the change. Let me put it this way. I mean, even if you're on the right track, sitting still, you still get run over by the train eventually. So my advice, be brave, go out there, take up new challenges. For me, I joined the civil service from the start. I thought I would die as a civil servant. Never happened. And guess what? I found somewhere better, ST Logistics.
Well, you heard from both of them. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this Fireside Chat series and look out for the next one because it's gonna be a blast. See you!